All right, welcome back. Oh my gosh, it's been a minute since I've been out in the lot. We are in our original lot. As you can see, it's a little, I don't know if they're tearing it down or if they're like, or if that just happened, but anyways, yeah, we're in our original lot. It's not the warmest. It's like 1 degree Celsius right now, so it's a little cold, but we have our winter riding gloves on. Troy Lee design swelter gloves. These are the ones I use for my winter riding. It's been a little hard to get out just because of the weather. Like, it's been cold and like it'll snow and then it'll rain, but then it'll be warm, and it's like impossible to get the right combination of weather, you know what I mean? It's just the worst. Here in the lot, we're gonna be honestly just kind of getting back into the groove of things. I think nothing crazy, nothing too intensive, but yeah, there's a hive. I obviously don't think they're there anymore because it's cold as hell, but you know, it's there. So yeah, we're here in our lot, and we're just gonna get back into the groove of things because it's been a while. I think the last loop I did or drop bent my shifter. Yikes. Yikes indeed. But anyways, without further ado, let's just get into it. Yes, we're still leaking oil. I mean, there's nothing I could really do about it. I'm just waiting for it to level itself out, because again, I did overfill it when I put the oil in, and I put some stabilizer in it too, so it kind of overfilled even more than it should have been. But yeah, we're just gonna scoot around. We're gonna get a bit of practice in. Ooh, it's been a while. Feeling that like jerkiness that I did when I'm not warm. And one thing that I've been like really dying to try, or like to get, that I wanted to like get down, is that higher gear wheelie, especially on here, because my feed on Instagram is just covered in just Groms just pulling up wheelies with, you know, high speeds, and I'm like, I wish I could do that, because it'd be so much better. Like, because I have stud gearing on it, it's like I can't ride in first gear for too long, or else I just redline. That was a chaser, not ideal. But yeah, I'm just like really hoping I can at some point soon, after I'm like warmed up and, you know, back in the swing of things, get to practicing like the technique of actually bouncing it up in higher gears, because right now I've been at low speed first gear, and that's about all I can really do. I mean, like I can still do from stop. Like, it's been a while, but it's been a hot minute, so just give it a there. I'm trying to keep my foot on the ground as like much as I can. I have to like stretch it. Oh, I should have stretched before I did that. Ow. feeling good. Like I'm feeling like confident in my wheelie. There's like the one thing I'm still working on is that consistency of like just keeping it in balance point. Because I'll like go again, I've already mentioned it before, it's like I don't get enough consistent lot days to you know, really hammer in those techniques and stuff. Like, yeah, I can wheelie, but I can't keep it as balanced as I would like. That was kind of just itchy throttle, if you will. Itchy throttle. And I think I learned from like the one lot day I did at the other spot where I was just leaking all over the place, and then the oil got on my rear brake and I couldn't come back from the wheelie after I went too far. I learned that I should like give it a little time between wheelies, just because constantly revving it, you know, and going up and down is just making it spurt out more oil than I would like. So I have to be careful. Also, I apologize for the wind because I didn't check to see how windy it was going to be today, and obviously I'm just using my GoPro mic. So yeah, but right now I'm just trying to get back into the comfort zone, and then after I'm there for a good bit, I want to push myself outside my comfort zone, because right now, yes, I've been comfortable doing sit down wheelies and such, but I wanted to actually try and like work on knee knockers, not to like replace my sit downs, but like just so I can have something else to practice, and it'll probably help with like getting second gear, just because my weight will be further back and more on the back wheel, offloading the front. My finger kind of got stuck on the clutch there. That was crazy. I need to re-stick my left grip. Kind of chased that one out. I didn't like that. Because as you'll see, like that one just now, I'll like pull it up to balance point, or maybe even just before, probably just before, and then I'll kind of like cut the throttle, and then it'll just drop back down and I can't pull it back up. See, that one was good. I was able to keep it up and, you know, use the foot brake. I think we might do some more from stop ones, just to try and get some control. That one felt terrible. My clutch finger is dragging. My foot got caught on the ground, and then it made me kind of hang up and I almost went sideways. I didn't like that. Get it all. Oh my god, I got that one right up to balance point, and it was too slow, and it almost died on me. That was crazy. Oh, I think I need to scooch over because I'm having trouble reaching the ground there. I'm a little too far over. Or I need to move back. Be a bit of both. A bit of both, perhaps. Okay. Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was pretty good. Nice and slow. Kept it up. Okay. My from the stop one's doing all right. Oh my goodness. It's really been that long that my body just is getting achy already, like just sore, just because I've been off for so long on the bike, off on the bike. I didn't like that. That one wasn't very good. It out. I'm trying to keep my hands warm. Again, it's 1 degree. That's just above freezing. And it's not ideal, but typically when I'm in the lot practicing, it's not that bad. It's more so when you're just riding on the road where the wind is just, you know, punching you, beating you up. You're helpless. To be careful, this area is just rocks and marbles everywhere. Kind of dragged the brake on that one. I was kind of dragging the rear brake. Not ideal at all. You know, avoid doing that because you'll get brake fade. Get lots of brake fade. Oh, I kept cutting every time I cut the throttle, I could feel it. I could feel the freaking, like the power cut and then come back to the rear wheel every time I would lay back on it, and it felt weird. Felt super weird. You gotta be steady on the throttle. Steady enough. We get up into balance point and just hold it there, you know. That's the goal. I mean, we got it up. We didn't necessarily hold it there. It was kind of chase. It was like just before balance point. gonna try and see if I can scoot a little further back when I do it. I was like just on the rear seat, just barely. I think a lot of these are like just before balance point. That's why it seems like I'm just powering it out and kind of chasing. But yeah, I like this lot because, I mean, again, it is private. There's no cars around, so if, you know, if something does happen, there's no risk of, you know, you accidentally hitting a car that's parked or something like that. Because around here there's not many parking lots where they're just like vacant. I'm gonna take a second because my hand's kind of cold. There's not many parking lots that are just like empty, unless like the place is closed for the day, or you know, there's like just no business or whatever. I don't know. It is what it is. Just kind of figure it out as you go. But that's why I came to this lot, just because this is, for, you know, as long as I've seen it, it's been abandoned. And again, it's a private lot, so you don't have to worry about you know, anybody coming in or anything like that, except maybe the police. But again, I'm in a parking lot, so they shouldn't bother me anyway. But if they were to come up, they'd be like, oh, do you have permission to be here, or do you own this, or whatever. So my thumb is just freezing. I don't know why. Just freezing a little bit. Yeah, it looks like this is just like falling apart. Or they were just tearing it apart to find something. I don't know. I was leaking before, but right now it doesn't necessarily look like... Oh, no, there's something there on top of the engine. So, yeah. But I'm happy to be back in the lot. It's nice to be on the bike and actually practicing in the lot. You know, I've rode a couple times, maybe like a handful of times, just around. You know, it's not the same as being in the lot when you can just have that dedicated time to, you know, be here and practice, you know, what you want to practice without, you know, obviously endangering anyone, especially if you're like, I guess, a beginner like me. That's why I keep most of my, pretty much all of my practice, I want to say like 99% in the lot. There's like that 1% where I'm like, okay, the road's empty, so, you know, I can slow down and try a wheelie, but I don't ever really go too far. And yeah, there's usually just no cars around. But yeah, I mostly keep it here in the lot just because, again, I'm not experienced enough to be doing it in the streets, and again, I don't want to endanger anybody, especially myself. So word of advice for people who are learning how to do wheelies and are trying to keep it safe, man. Just keep it in the lot until you can confidently, like 110% do it without any issues or risk to anyone else. Because again, you've probably seen countless times where people go and pull up a wheelie, it's a power wheelie or whatever, and they lose control of it. They, you know, hit a car or something, usually like the back of a car or something, and that's just that's just it. Because then you've done it to yourself, because you just, you know, recklessly hit someone, and then yeah, you're just screwed from there. So you want to be careful. Again, keep it in the lot. And unless you're fully experienced, don't do it anywhere outside the lot, because again, it's just too much risk. And I know most people are doing it on the street just because they have bigger bikes and they don't like understand the lots, or maybe they don't have a lot near them like this that's private or empty enough, you know. And I can understand that, but if you can find like a street, like an empty private street, like with a roundabout or something that doesn't have many cars parked or any cars parked, something like that'll work. Because I've you know, if you watch my videos, I've gone to multiple different places, you know, just to practice, you know, a couple times being on one of those kinds of streets, those dead end streets. So there's not really like much excuse, but listen, even if you have to load up your bike in your vehicle or trailer or whatever and take it a little further out just to practice in, you know, private, honestly, it's worth it. It really is, because again, you can spend as much time as you want here without any trouble, and then you can, you know, do whatever. And if you go down, then you go down, and you don't have to worry about hurting anyone except yourself. Ooh, got that one up right in the balance point, maybe a tad fast. Maybe a tad fast. Listen, I'm not one to be preaching stuff to people who are learning. Again, I'm learning. That's why I only give advice to, like, you know, that I would follow, and you know, that I do follow. Just don't want those problems, right? Like, especially if, you know, you're at a stunt bike that's meant for just the lot, if you get what I mean. Not necessarily meant to be on the road, but yeah. I like the lots, man. They're fun. They're fun. I don't necessarily have people, you know, to go to the lots with. I'm kind of a solo stunt rider. Like, I only associate really with other stunt riders. Like, I don't I really try to not associate with like those I was a chaser, but those like go fast, you know, like scrubs or whatever, you know. There's some that I don't mind, you know, that we're cool with. You know, I don't have an issue with certain ones, obviously, but there's some people who just do dumb stuff just because they can, or just because they have a bike, and then they'll like, oh, I don't know, they'll think they're just like the shit, and they'll go and do something stupid on the road, and you know, almost get in trouble, or actually get in trouble, or, you know, maybe almost hurt someone or whatever, and then they'll just say, you know, whatever, and they'll flip someone off just because. There's a lot of those people who just flip people off just because. I don't know why. Like, I used to do that, but I don't know, I try to learn better, you know. A lot of the times we're in the wrong. There's you know, a lot of times where they're in the wrong, you know. But you can't go flipping someone off if you know, cut them off, or if you cross in front of them when they're at an intersection and the light was red or whatever, or the stop sign or whatever. I don't know, man. Oh, I got hung up on the on the clutch there. I need to move my grip back over. It's this, when I pull it in, it kind of gets caught on my middle finger a little. But yeah, it's people that just do dumb shit and then just think that there's not going to be any like consequence, or just kind of piss people off just to piss people off, especially when they're riding, you know what I mean? Like, because we don't want, you know, road ragers to end up, you know, running us down, because obviously, you know, they have a big like 2, 3 ton, 4 ton vehicle that could literally crush us. It's just not ideal. That one was so smooth. Oh my god, so smooth. But yeah, you just don't want those problems, you know, especially if you do piss the wrong person off and you end up getting ran over. And then there's people who think they can just run from the police, don't have very fast bikes, or aren't very experienced, or just do something stupid and get in trouble and try to run away, and then anyways. I'm gonna try not to get too deep into it, but you know the people I'm talking about. You know the people. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of a through and through stunt rider. I've been converted. Woo! Oh, we dropped back a little bit. Not far, not far. I'm not gonna over exaggerate. I know it wasn't far, it was a little bit past balance point, but it was really comfortable. But yeah, you know, I used to be that go fast boy. I've been riding like 2 years now, maybe over 2 years now. Not very long, but you know, I started on a sport touring bike, you know, just to get a good happy medium of like comfortable and fast, to see, you know, if I liked it, you know what I mean? And then I was like, yeah, I want to go fast, so I got an S1000, you know, the influencer leader bike, and I love it. I still do. I still have it. I love that bike, but I haven't ridden it just because it's got engine issues, and you know, it's just right now I don't really care to ride it, just because I want to practice, like, more than anything, my stunts. You know, I want to practice going and scraping, you know, this titanium 12 bar that I've got, and you know, I want to practice all the stunts I can. You know, I want to be able to do everything. I want to be able to push my limits, you know, not just go fast in a straight line or in corners and end up, you know, wrecking my bike. Not to say that you will, but there's always a chance of it, you know what I mean? Especially if you are going fast, there's always a chance that, you know, you hit a patch of gravel or something out of the ordinary happens and you just, you know, wreck, whether it's just a freak accident or whatever, or, you know, you have all the skill in the world and whatnot, but you can always wreck, you know, something can happen. But I just kind of fell in love with the stunt, you know, community, and just the way, you know, people do things with their motorcycles, and just things you never thought was possible, honestly and truly. I love it. I think it's so fucking cool. Yeah, that one's really good. That one's good. Yeah, I'm full in depth into the stunting community. It's just this is what I live for, man. This is it. And that's why I'm only riding my Grom now, because it's my stunt bike at the moment. It's my beginner stunt bike, my learner. And I love it. I would not, for any like amount of money, honestly, get rid of this, just because I love this thing. I'd buy another one just to have more. Like, I love the Grom. This thing is probably my favorite motorcycle so far. Again, I've had a few, And I planned out more. But yeah, after I'm done, you know, learning on this, at least like what I want to learn basic wise, I guess, like, because as far as like basics go, like I think Brian said it once in a somewhat recent video, not too long ago. He said you can't call yourself a stunt rider if you can't do, I don't know if it was like 5 or 6 tricks or something like that. And I obviously don't check all those boxes, but I would like to consider myself a beginner stunt rider, not like a full-on stunt rider. You know, because I can't hold a wheelie, I can't, you know, I can't roll a stoppie. No, I can like, well, it wasn't very high. I wasn't trying to really send it. When I'm trying to like, I'll touch on it in a second, but like stoppies, there's no easy way to practice it. You just kind of have to send it and hope that you don't go too far. You know, obviously start with little ones and then put more pressure and more pressure and more pressure. I don't practice them too much right now just because I'm not looking to right now. I mean, I want to, but yeah, it's a hard thing to learn, because it's like you can only go so far before you go too far, and then, you know, you tip over and whatever. the last stoppie I attempted, which I wrecked and busted the foot peg, I think the first time, was because my brake line was pinched right here against the fender. That one was fairly high, decently high. Yeah, that wasn't bad. It's not, I don't know, because I think the only, like, I can do a stoppie, not like very high. I know I should practice them more, and that way I'll get a better feel for it. That was terrible. That was terrible. But like rolling stoppies, you need to go faster, because you need to go like fast enough that you can pick it up and then hold it in that balance point, that like reverse balance point or whatever, and then the kind of momentum of your speed will kind of just carry you forward. And I'm not quite comfortable enough yet. Nope, that was terribly slow. That was good. Like I could spend like one whole lot session just doing stoppies until I'm comfortable enough. Almost rolled that one a little bit. See, that one I think to roll it, because there's not really many tutorials that really go in depth that I know of. You kind of just go grab like a handful of that brake, not too much, don't lock it up, and then you just kind of have to gauge how high you are based on, I don't know, some form of distance. I don't know how it really works, or how, I think it's just experience, honestly. See, like that one rolled a bit, but I didn't have enough momentum to keep it going. That one was like a progressive braking. That was terrible. But yeah, you have to be careful with it, just because, especially if you do have a 12 bar, or like the one like mine, it is literally pointed towards me. So if it was to come over and land on you, that would really fucking hurt. I mean, it would really hurt if the bike in general landed on you, but you know. Yeah, it's not a difficult thing to do. I think it's just experience. Nope. That was way too. See? Like, you gotta give it enough pressure to pick it up, and then you have to have enough speed to carry it. Again, I'm not there yet. I'm nowhere near that yet. Fuck. I was trying to go off of one line. Nope, not even. Not even. Yeah, this is something you have to be careful with. very, very careful with. Nope, not even. I'm trying to like give it just enough pressure to pick it up, but it's not picking up. Oh, that one went to the side. I didn't give it enough pressure there. But yeah, now I've got myself practicing stoppies just because I was talking about it. I felt like that was going a little too far, or a little too quick. Ah, but yeah, it's just something you gotta practice. And as I was trying to say before, I think it was 6 stunts. It was either 5 or 6, and I can't remember exactly, but it was a wheelie, a stoppie, I think it was a burnout, a rolling burnout, and then I can't remember, I don't know if it was 4 or what, but there's only so many like basic stunts that you can do, because obviously there's a lot of combos you can go off of doing. You know, really, obviously you can do a stand-up, knee knocker, staggered, whatever, you know. But oh, I think scraping is also like one of them. So I think that would, like, if you could get those 5, anybody can do a burnout. That's an easy one to check off, you know. But it's just, yeah, I think it's those 5. I don't know if it was 6 or what, but yeah. Oh, kind of grabbed a little handful twice. But I'll do like one more stoppie, and then I think we'll go back to. This one's kind of went to the side too. I'm having fun doing the stoppies now. They're rolling a little, just a little. Can I roll stoppies now? No, definitely not. We go a little faster. Oh, that one rolled. Okay. Okay. And it kind of went to the side, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Ah, that one didn't roll at all. It stoppied right into a track stand. Ah. I'm not giving it enough pressure to pick it up. Not giving it enough to pick it up. I'm having too much fun doing these now. Ah! Okay, that wasn't bad. We'll try one more at a good speed, and then we'll go back to the wheelies. That was decent. That was pretty good. All right, back to the wheelies. That one is poor, very, very poor. I've kind of toyed with the idea of trying a rolling burnout before. I've been kind of eager to try, just because I watched the Brian's tutorial from like years ago of doing a rolling burnout. I know it's a little harder on the ground just because there's not as much power, but I've only tried it like once or twice before on gravel, and I didn't necessarily understand it. But from what I understand, you just offload the rear, pretty much lean as much as you can on the front, you know, like this, and then kind of just give it gas and dump the clutch as far as I know. I don't necessarily want to try it now, but or do I? Because you got to break it loose, and you also have to hold a bit of the front brake. Felt like I would have had it there. Ah. I think we got it, sort of, but it, or no, I slid on the mud there. I slid on the mud. That's what it felt like. That's what it was. Oh, the front wheel came up a bit. That was crazy. I need to really put my weight on the front then. Obviously I'll hear it, I think. I just need enough power to like break loose the rear. I don't know if I'm getting it. I can't really tell. I think I did. I think. Might have been a little. Yeah. I think I got it a little bit. Try not to freaking loop myself. It's something really like technical, like a little technical that you have to kind of understand. Oh, it's weird. It's definitely weird. Oh, it can like come up, and then because I was holding the front brake, it didn't want to obviously roll anymore, but that was crazy. First loop with our first wreck doing the roll and burnout. I gotta shut it off and shut it back on. That was all right. It felt a little odd when you go down. It's like, oh, because I guess you can't be holding too much of the front brake, but like I guess I wasn't like unloading enough pressure. I can't see. Hold it. Enough pressure on like the front wheel to keep it down, because it came up a little bit, and then I don't know if it was just because of like the divot in the ground there, but it came up a little bit, and then it just didn't want to. It keeps like, I don't know if I'm putting too much brake pressure on, because it feels like the front wheel is just sliding out. I guess I'm putting too much brake pressure on it, huh? And it wants to just kind of lock and then slide out. I'm not really even holding it that hard. Not really even holding it that hard. Hold on. Definitely not it. Maybe we'll leave it for now. I don't know, because it's definitely a little harder, but yeah, no, it like jumps up and then it locks the front wheel, and it doesn't want to go anymore. I don't know, maybe I'm not giving it enough gas when it like clutches out, or I'm just holding it too hard. I'm not putting enough weight on the front wheels. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna leave that for now. We'll come back to it another time. But yes, obviously it's harder on the garage just because you need I guess a little more technicality, just because the lack of power, I guess. It's obviously possible. I know. I'm not gonna say it's not possible, because I've seen it done tons of times, tons and tons of times. But again, it's just something a little more technical, I guess, for the drop. So yeah, it is what it is. We took our first spill doing it, so that's good. I tried to keep it going, but I pulled it. I went too far forward. That one was a little shit. Also, what's going on here? Mirror. There we go. That was like the worst possible attempt ever. Lagging on my inputs. Lagging on my inputs. I think there's glass over here with a little bit. Oh. Wrist is getting a little sore. Yeah, you can tell it's a little bit of a chase just because the speed gets a little up in the RPMs. I say a little, but a lot, you know. Is that dead in the mirror? I don't know, it feels closer. I might have. Doing all right though. Doing pretty good for the session. I mean, other than the small dip. My technique is getting a little weird. I'm not really doing much to pull it up, to be fair. Put it down just so I didn't hit the rocks as I was in the wheelie. My timing is a little shit right now. But I could try. I don't know if I should like just bounce the front in second or what. I was thinking about trying some second. I was gonna keep it going because I was able to like steer it to the right a bit. Oh. I think that was the longest wheelie I've done so far. Let's go. Getting a little more longevity. Hold on, my mirror's moving again. Alrighty, feeling all right though. Feeling pretty all right. I'm wondering if it might be easier to like start a rolling burnout from stop in like a regular burnout while it's already loose. Maybe, I don't know. Timing. Oh my god, I felt like I unloaded both wheels at the wrong time. That was horrible. Oh, my front wheel might be slippery. Oh my god, I'm dying. Don't smoke, kids. No, I'm kidding, I don't smoke. I was hoping that I could keep it up, and then I was going to try and steer it. It didn't want to be stable. Oh baby. All right. It's a little, at least I don't quite understand it yet. I thought I did, or maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I think I've got a little too much on my mind trying to keep the wheelie up first, but I do not know. I'll just be, because you need the wheelie to be like second nature. That way you can keep it up, not have to worry about it. Obviously, everything just becomes easy, muscle memory. I mean, it is. My throttle control still needs work, but yeah. Chasing, man, chasing. I know I could probably like try, like you can shift in a wheelie. I know Brian's talked about that before, like just shifting in a wheelie to get it to second instead. I'll try to get it up in second, but here, let's put it in second. Yeah, let's see what we can do if we can get it. I've got it up like a tiny bit, like when I was first starting, but I don't know, it's a little difficult. Oh my god, it feels like I'm really giving her, but let me try. Hold on, I'm leaking a little more. See, like that time it came up a bit. You have to really yank backwards, I guess. I don't know. I know that it's easier to keep it up in second, is what I've heard. I think my timing's off a bit. Also, I'm seeing a bit of like leakage because I think I'm going a little too much. Yeah, right there. Oh. I think I really is just my technique. I mean, I could try and sit on the back seat like a bit. It feels weird because I'm like so far forward a bit, you know. Second gear for me is a little harder. I say a little, but it's a lot harder. Woo! We'll try just banging it off the limiter and giving it that yank. That little slide pull. That one didn't feel right. Oh. Maybe we'll try a bump technique. It's been a while. Struggling here, man. I'm struggling. That's why I was saying I wanted to learn my knee knocker. That way I can offload even more off the front, you know. Nope. go. Oh. Really fucking hurts. I don't know, man. Okay. Anyways, I think I'm gonna leave it here. I feel like I've been here for a while, and I think leaking a little quick on the bike. Yeah, we're leaking a decent bit. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Oh, a little tired. Honestly and truly, if anyone has any tips, because just for getting it up in second, that might make my life a little easier, or maybe I'm just doing something wrong, because I am doing the like up and drop back and slide like technique, the up and slide back technique to do my wheelies. Maybe I'm just not pulling enough or what, but I don't know. Right now it just feels difficult, and that's why I wanted to practice my knee knocker with the foot on the 12 bar, just to again offload my weight from the front. And it should be much easier to pull up, because we'd just be able to kind of bounce it and get it off the ground. But I was gonna practice that in first, obviously, just to make it come up easier, and then from there we would, after we're comfortable, move on to second gear. Although it might be easier in second, I don't know, or less, like, I guess volatile is the word, because when you do wheelies in first, it's a lot more jerky, but second gear is much smoother, especially with the throttle. So it's probably easier just to do second, but probably the next time I come out we'll do that. But as you can see, probably there, the amount of oil I'm dripping, it's just because I was really up and down quick, and engine didn't really, or my overflow didn't like that. So yeah, anyways, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me in the lot as usual. It's good to be back on the bike in the lot. Honestly, I'm hoping it warms up, not too much, but warms up a bit. That way I don't have to wear so much. I mean, I normally just wear my hoodie over my armor anyway, and my pants. It doesn't really change, but yeah. Anyways, appreciate you guys, and I'm done.